Welcome to episode 5 of the Georgian Surrogacy Podcast. I'm Liz Tripodi, joined as always, Anita Fiorenza.
Hello, everyone.
So today we're going to be talking about adventures in Tbilisi. And there is so much to do in Georgia. However, we are going to be just concentrating on things to do in Tbilisi today and talking about some of our adventures, some of the things that we did. We're going to be talking about shopping, haircuts, beauty, going to the dentist, medical stuff outside of surrogacy, shopping malls, SIM cards, things that we did, apps that you can use, a whole variety of things that we hope is helpful information to you, but also great memories for us.
Yes, that's right.
All right.
Liz's memory will never fade.
No, my memory will never fade. So no. I guess, let's start from the start today. Let's start with actually landing in Georgia and getting a SIM card. So you can get SIM cards at the airport. You can also get them from, obviously, mobile phone provider places. The biggest SIM provider is a company called Magti. It's spelt Magti. And the quality of their internet, their data, as opposed to Australia, let's be honest, anywhere is better than Australia when it comes to mobile data speeds. Fantastic. So I think we paid, from memory, I think it was about 30 Australian dollars a month. And then that gave us unlimited data and, I don't know, a certain amount of calls. And then we would just go to the big Mugti shop on Ruster Valley Avenue to recharge the SIM.
You could recharge online as well. Is that right?
Yeah, you can recharge online, but I found that a little bit confusing because, I don't know, for some reason the translation wouldn't work and the English section wouldn't work. So I just literally, it was a 2-minute walk from our apartment to the Mugti store. So we just took it in there and they were really helpful. They speak English. They were great. So yeah, they're really important for Australians, and I don't know about other countries, but Australian SIM cards don't work in Georgia. I had an Optus SIM. Now the Optus SIM would actually allow SMSs, but it wouldn't allow calls or data. But for some reason it worked for SMSs, which is handy if you need to get like bank security codes and things like that come through. So I actually set up a separate Optus SIM especially to take to Georgia for that reason, because I knew that Telstra and Vodafone and all the other companies don't work. So that's just something to keep in mind if you are going to be there for a while and you need a SIM card. So I actually had brought 2 phones with me. One that we use with the Georgian number, and it is, you do sort of need a Georgian number because if you're signing up for any apps, a lot of the time they're going to ask you for your Georgian number.
That's correct. Yeah. Also, you'll need an unlocked phone.
Correct.
Yeah. So to put that SIM card in, you should have an unlocked phone or call your provider to unlock your phone prior to traveling. We had how many? All right, how many devices did you actually take, Liz? I'll let you know mine. But
so we had, all right, so I had 2 mobiles.
Which one was unlocked?
Both of them were unlocked.
Okay.
I had 2 iPhones. One I used with Mugti and the other one I used with the Optus SIM. My husband had a mobile. He had a Mugti SIM as well. Then we had the iPad, and the laptop.
Right. So we did an unlocked spare phone, and we just had an old one. So we took that for the Georgian SIM, and then we both had our mobiles, which we took, and so we had 3 phones. I think we plan to use them just on Wi-Fi networks. And if one of us left the building, somebody would carry that phone, the unlocked phone, and have the Wi-Fi. We just like phones. And then laptop. My husband took a laptop with him. He actually hired the laptop because we don't have a laptop at home. We have a desktop. So he paid and hired a laptop to bring with him to the other side of the world. And I also had an iPad, which was a larger iPad that you can connect a keyboard to. So even though I had that, he still wanted a laptop. And I will confess it was because my husband felt like he was going to be playing games and watching a lot of Netflix. So he wanted to be able to connect. What's that thing that you connect into the computer? Chromecast, isn't that what he used?
Yeah.
And he put that into the, wasn't it the
we brought our Chromecast as well in case. Actually, that's a really good point. We brought our Chromecast too, just in case the smart TVs in the apartment didn't have, in case they weren't smart TVs. So.
That's right. But isn't it that you put that into the laptop, USB or something, and then it connects? He connected it with that.
Yeah, you can cast it to the television.
Or he had a HDMI cable.
He had HDMI cable as well.
Which he brought.
You know what? It's really great to make sure that you bring as much technology as you need. Like, as an example, I was running, I was having a lot of Zoom conferences while I was away, and the internet speeds were fantastic. It was way better than Australia.
Yes, we never had a problem with our internet anywhere that we stayed. The only time we had a problem was when the actual internet ran out, and that's when it told us we needed to top up. So, our
internet was included in our apartment, so we didn't have to worry about that. So that was really good. Actually,
we did have apartments with internet as well. So the internet was more for when when my husband was going to get something or in a taxi or something. That's why he needed the Wi-Fi for using the like the Google Maps on the phone. Yeah, for walking around and going places.
There goes my phone. Speaking of phone, see, just right at the perfect moment.
That's the second time on a podcast.
I know. Let's talk apps. I want to talk apps with you for a sec.
Okay.
I want to tell everyone how fantastic the apps are in Tbilisi. So the main ones that we used, and we got 3 that we used on a daily basis. The first one is called Bolt. Now, Bolt is basically like Tbilisi's version of Uber. It's fantastic. You can pick the type of, the car you want, or see how many ratings the driver's got, if they speak English, if they've got cables in their cars, and obviously follow it on the map. It is so accurate. Generally, you can get a Bolt within about 30 seconds to a minute in Tbilisi. So cheap, and it gets charged to your card the way that an Uber does. To give you an idea, 20 minutes, let's say, from the center of Tbilisi to Tbilisi Mall, which is around about a 20-minute drive, you're looking at about $1.50, $1.80 Australian dollars. It's incredible. And we used Bolt even when, with the girls, all the time, multiple times a day. Fantastic. And brilliant. The next one is Walt. Sorry.
Go back to the Bolt. Yeah. I just want to mention, so if you are traveling back and forth to your pediatrician appointments, just to go out for the day, go for a walk, go to the shops, you'll be probably putting in prams, the pram into the boot.
Yep.
So Liz, yourself, you obviously would have travelled with a twin size pram.
Yep.
And ourselves, we had a single pram, but we usually ordered a medium to large size Bolt all the time.
Correct.
For the boot space, correct?
Yeah, once the girls arrived, we were getting bigger size ones because we needed to make sure that pram fitted in.
Yeah. So that's just something to note. If you are, going to get some shopping, or you're going to have some, something you can order the bigger ones, but to make sure they have boot space. And a couple of times they didn't even put the pram in the boot. They were known to easily put, if they had like something in the boot, sometimes the drivers had a tire or something already in the boot. They would accommodate you by
The drivers were so helpful with
Oh,
Bolt.
yeah.
Yeah, nothing was ever too much trouble. Yeah, I think, and you know what? A lot of people say that the roads in Tbilisi are crazy. To be honest, after being there for nearly 5 months, I've probably, I think the traffic and the drivers in LA are worse than what they are in Tbilisi. I mean, I've traveled so much and I've been to so many European countries. I think Paris drivers are worse than Tbilisi. So yeah, I don't necessarily think the drivers are bad.
No, you can just tell them to drive slow. You have a baby in the car, and they're very obliging, and they'll listen. Act with caution while they're driving. So,
yeah. Can I talk about Walt now?
Yeah, go on.
All right. So there are two delivery apps in Tbilisi. So one is called Walt, and the other one is called Glovo. Now, they are very similar. They both do food deliveries, but Glovo, or actually Walt have started doing it now too, but Glovo, when we were there, also you could also shop from shops. So, excuse me.
Yeah, so Glovo has more shopping, and but they are a little bit more difficult to sign up with at the beginning. They will request more information, and you definitely do need to have that SIM card. From memory, it's like a Georgian SIM card to shop with them. Whereas Walt, I don't believe we needed to have the SIM card yet. We could have just we could have verified who we were with our, like, Facebook. You can use your Facebook or social media, your email, and then your address. You need to verify your address of where you are to be able to deliver. Glovo, you definitely need the SIM card because they will send messages to that phone. So, so definitely Glovo is a little bit more restricted if you haven't got that SIM card when you arrive. And I do know that some people had difficulty ordering food and things like that if they wanted to order from the Glovo. Otherwise, I didn't use Glovo as much. I know Liz was all over the Glovo app. She was getting things delivered from chemists, pharmacy, like the pharmacies. They had more of a variety. I think Glovo is expanding now. Walt is expanding, similar to Glovo.
You can buy, and excuse me, everybody, while I just had a massive coughing fit.
I was running out of words to say.
You can get absolutely. I mean, you could get everything from stuff from a beauty shop through to juices, through to health foods, through to vitamins, clothing, art supplies, toys. There are so many shops available. So, and the major supermarkets, Carrefour, Goodwill, the specialty ones, there's butchers. And the great thing about it is it comes straight to your door. You can choose, you can choose if you'd like to tip. I always tipped. I usually tipped 1 or 2 lari, which is really, it's nothing, but it's, something for the drivers. But the only thing is that because they're on motorbikes most of the time, you can't buy a lot of stuff.
Oh, that's a good point. So basically with the motorbikes, I think there was like a 10, like if you wanted to order water, that was something that was important when you're ordering. Some people will order water, which comes in big might be 10 litres. There's a limit of ordering the water, 5 litres or 10 litres. It'll tell you on the app of having it delivered to your house because the motorbikes can't.
Yeah, you're right. I remembered about the waters now you say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like even the same with like bananas. Like they'd only let you order a certain amount of bananas because it would be once they'd packed everything into a bag.
I can't remember about the bananas. So I don't know if I ordered bananas at all when I was over there. I was a little bit funny about the fresh fruit and vegetables. But yeah, there's also you needed to check your dockets. So even though you are ordering every time you did get a shop, so what happens is you would process your order and pay for it, and then obviously the supermarket would pack it and it would come out to you, but you do need to check off. So if there was something that you didn't receive on your docket, perhaps it was bananas, for example, or it was maybe some soft drink or something, they were out of stock, or they may have forgotten to pack it. You need to check it off and then go back into your order. There's like a little section and say that you did not receive it, and then they will refund it to you or put a credit. Depending on how often you order from there, you would get a choice. So that's something that happens, and it's not because it was a bad service. It's just because you've prepaid before and they don't actually have it in stock. So they can only pack what they have in stock. And it's just up to you to actually follow up and get your money back after, and they're very diligent. You'll get the money back straight away into your account.
Yeah, I had very few issues though. And, we were ordering every day. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think we were almost ordering and using these apps at the time being COVID and restricted and in
Absolutely.
lockdown, like for supermarket.
And if you wanted something at 1 a.m, you could get it.
Yeah, but certain shops closed.
Oh, of course, certain shops closed. But my point is that if you did need something, even from a convenience store or and remember the convenience stores was selling things, cleaning products.
Oh yes, yeah, it was good.
So those apps definitely are,
they're your go-to apps. So everybody should have Bolt and Glovo
and Walt.
Sorry, we're on to Walt.
Bolt, Walt, and Glovo are the 3 apps that you need to have. Look, there is Yandex as well.
Yandex.
Yandex was really good for translating. So you take a photo of something, and then it would translate like what the product was if you didn't know if it was written in another language. So that's what
I did use this one.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk shopping, because we did a fair bit of shopping. So you've got your major malls. Obviously, you've got Tbilisi Mall, and you've got East Point, and you've got Galleria. So they're your big 3 shopping centres. Tbilisi Mall is obviously the biggest. Tbilisi Mall is your standard international shopping mall. It has a massive supermarket. It's got banks. It's got specialty shops. It's got, your sports stores like Adidas, Nike, those sort of things. I think it's got a H&M. It has a lot of stores. East Point is very similar, but but East Point is like an outdoor sort of mall. So you walk outside for all the shops. Galleria is right smack bang in the middle of Rustaveli, near Freedom Square, and we spent a lot of time there.
I don't know that it was my favourite. It was actually, it was a bit smaller. It was just a go-to shopping centre. I preferred to get into a Bolt and just go out for the day with Liz when I wanted to get some shopping done. because that's where I found all the better clothes stores to be. So yeah, and yeah, there was really only the shops that we needed to go to for every day at Galleria. But I did like going there. It's just I kind of got sick of it.
Yeah, I mean, look, Galleria is it's fantastic for convenience because it's right in the heart of the city. Um, so, and it's got a big Goodwill, not a big one, but got a Goodwill shopping center on the bottom floor.
I think we went to the hairdresser, downstairs.
The hairdresser next on the bottom level is excellent, and I had my nails done there multiple times and my hair done there multiple times. And there's a lady there at reception that speaks English. Everyone else speaks Georgian, but the service was fantastic.
Yeah, I enjoyed the hair and beauty place there. That was my favorite. So if I was going back, I'd definitely go to that place. I think what we'll have to do is put I don't know if we can put some links down of the names of these places, just so that we're being a little bit more specific.
No, you know what? If people want to get their hair, look, I actually went to a hairdresser as well in Vake, and I was recommended there from the expats in Tbilisi Facebook page. They were really good as well, and both me and you also went to one of those specialty brow bars.
I liked that one. It was really pink inside, wasn't it? Remember?
And there's a lot of brow bars around Tbilisi. So if you're looking to get eyebrows done and waxing and threading or whatever, there's plenty of them, and the hygiene's fantastic. They're really good places. My husband had his hair cut a few times from a proper barber. And so there's really good barbers, really good barber shops around Tbilisi as well. In terms of clothing, we were there we got there, obviously we were there at the start of winter, and there's clothing retailers for all shapes and sizes. So for anyone who might be plus size like myself, no issue at all with getting really fantastic quality clothes at good prices. So Waikiki was one of my favorites. Waikiki was in there's a big store in Tbilisi Mall, but the one I used to go to all the time was in Galleria. And I guess you'd probably call it a cross between maybe Forever 21 and Boohoo, maybe. I don't know. But it was, had really good quality stuff. I've still got it now.
I liked Zara and H&M. Remember, I just used to keep going to Zara and H&M.
And Next has actually got really good clothes too.
But I didn't see Next for adults, or I can't remember. It was only for kids, wasn't it?
No, there's a Next store for adults as well.
Okay. Well,
and I think the pricing. The interesting thing is so we my husband bought a lot of stuff from Adidas and from Nike, and the pricing is a lot cheaper than what it is in a lot of the other European cities, which is of course a lot cheaper than Australia. So yeah, if you are into those sort of brands, even myself, I bought quite a lot of Armani. Again, way cheaper than what it is anywhere else. I found the prices in Tbilisi for clothing and for shoes to be excellent.
I didn't buy much but over there because we had just so much stuff to bring back, and I bought a few things, but it was just what I needed to for when the season changed, but I did enjoy going out just for walks, and I think mainly what I bought was for Annabelle, for the kids, like in the kids' clothes.
Yeah. The other thing too, which is really interesting, which I didn't think about until we were actually there. So there's actually a whole street as well in Sabutalo that sells all fake stuff.
I was just going to say all the copies.
Yeah, so all the copy stuff is all available in Sabutalo for anyone who's into that sort of stuff. It's at the further end, so past all the main shops, but it's probably, I don't know, at least 100 stores, and they've pretty much all got the same stuff. They've got bags, clothing, shoes, but the quality is actually really cool. So I don't think, did I actually buy anything? I think I might have bought a pair of slides because I needed some slides for around the house, for around the apartment. But yeah, there is a lot of there is a lot of copy stuff, and of course there's a lot of copy stuff also at the market at the near the train station. There's a massive market there, so you're always going to find that sort of stuff. I don't particularly agree and support it, but we are talking about adventures, and it is available to purchase, so you can make up your own sort of mind on that. A couple of things that happened, which happens when you are pretty much living in another city, is that you may have a need to go to a normal doctor, or you might have to go to a dentist, or you might have an accident of some sort and you might have to go to a specialist. All those things happen to us. So I had to go and see a normal doctor for some women's stuff. And I went to the Georgian American Medical Clinic, and I had a fantastic female doctor there, and they were so easy to make an appointment and great service. And the doctor there was very thorough. So
English, they spoke English.
English was perfect. Fixed up the bill then and there, and I think the bill was something like $17 or something like that. It was great. And she actually rang me a couple of days later to see how I was. So my husband also, and this, he probably won't listen to this, so I'll just tell the story.
I was going to say, are you allowed to say this?
So he fell out of the bed one night thinking that he was at home, but he fell, and the apartment that we were in had floorboards, but obviously under floorboards is concrete. Anyway, he hurt his knee really bad. Anyway, for about a week, he couldn't walk. His knee was swelled. He was in so much pain. We went to Chava and saw our coordinator organised for him to see one of the specialists there, who then referred him to go and get an x-ray done. So we had to go to this hospital that wasn't Chava, because they were the only ones who did this special type of x-ray on his knee, which was, I don't know, probably 20 minutes out of the city in an area that we hadn't been to before. And we had to go in, get a number, go to the desk. You had to pay before you went and got it. Anyway, so he ended up getting these x-rays done, and then being told that he'd probably have to have surgery. We had to go buy him a stick, one of those,
crutches? Was he on
crutches? Yeah, one of those crutches.
I think he was on crutches.
And then we had to get him special gel that was prescribed by the specialist. And so these things happen. But again, everything's really well organized there, and the cost, was pretty much nothing. And then we come to me with the dentist. So I was in excruciating pain.
Yes.
And I got a recommendation from, again, the expats group for an English-speaking dentist. And it turns out that they were going to do 2 root canals. And I was just in agony. Now, the place, again, spotless.
Hang on, pull up for a second.
Okay.
First, because I'm a dental nurse, I just want to add this in.
Yeah.
So they started on one tooth first, and then you found out after that you needed the next tooth done as well.
That's
because
right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so go on. Continue.
Look, basically, the moral of the story is I think I went there 4 or 5 times.
Correct.
I probably had 50 injections. I ended up with, 2 root canals that still aren't finished 2 years later. But I've had no issues with my teeth.
They are finished. They're completed. The root canals are completed.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Yeah.
But I've had no issues with my teeth since then. Um, and again, the cost compared to Australia, I think for all that treatment I had done, I think I paid about 200 Australian dollars. And yeah, so you can basically get anything or do anything that you need to in Tbilisi when the going gets tough. And again, I know I took a bolt to all these appointments. Everyone is always on time. And I know that might sound strange because I know I hear a lot of people saying, oh, they're very casual, they never give you a time for things. But I found when you made an appointment, whether it be for hair or nails or eyebrows or the dentist or having to go to a specialist or whatever, I always felt like that they were on time. And even if they were 1 minute late or 2 minutes late, they'd be very, very apologetic about how sorry they were for keeping you. So, as with everywhere, you be polite, you go with the flow, you're in another country. And yeah, do you agree with that, Dal?
Yeah, I do. I know that some of our best moments were, and what we used to enjoy most was heading out for the day in a bolt, leaving leaving the boys at home. They used to look after the girls, have Netflix going, and we get a bolt and continue on our way to go and get a pedicure. And I think we decided to henna our eyebrows
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
that now, and my eyebrows have never looked as good as they did when I was in Tbilisi. To this day, my eyebrows have never looked as good.
And we had a little bit of a shopping experience. We get some lunch, and it was just really about having a girls' day out, just because we needed a break. So
And I'd highly recommend to anybody, even if you like, so our favorite place to eat in Tbilisi is a place called Dine Hall, and it's on Rustaveli Avenue, and the staff there became like our family. We even celebrated Thanksgiving there, and I tell you, I'd never celebrated Thanksgiving in my life, obviously due to being Aussie. And we had the most special day together. Eating, we had a roast, and oh, how good was that roast? Because we'd all been craving like.
What was dessert? Was it a pumpkin?
It was a
pie?
pumpkin pie.
I've never had a pumpkin pie until and the roast was great. Yes, it was. But the pumpkin pie was
and that wine, that drink they had, that really sweet,
some Georgian,
some Georgian. Oh, was fantastic.
Yeah, some Georgian red wine, a sweet. It was a very sweet,
beautiful,
rich wine.
So we'd go to Dine Hall a lot. We'd bring the girls. The place was always warm and toasty, and there's a fantastic changing area there if you need to, and spotlessly clean. So we went there. The other place where we went to quite a lot was an outdoor, like a food truck type park.
It's further up the other direction.
Yeah.
From
don't ask me what it's called because I don't even remember. But there was this fantastic taco Mexican place, and there was all these little restaurants. We went there. We went to the little Asian fusion restaurant as well. That was fantastic. And it's the most beautiful setting. It's in gardens, and at night it was all lit up with beautiful balloons and lights, and that was a really special place. And in fact, I remember us all being there the night the twins were born, and I've got videos, and I think we drank a little bit too much tequila. And mind you, my husband and I are not drinkers at all. Like, I mean, we don't drink alcohol at all. And we had some shots of tequila to celebrate the twins being born. And I've got these videos of us there just, the twins are here, and we were just so happy. And it was such a magical moment to be in that environment on such a momentous occasion. I remember Annabelle being there next to us in her little bunny outfit, in her pram, and she just slept, and she was so good. And Tbilisi is such a family city. it is encouraged, and uh, kids are no bother to anybody in Tbilisi. And I think that's really important. It doesn't matter if you need to take them somewhere, they are cherished and they are made to feel special, not like, dare I say it, here in Australia, you go out and there's kids and people start complaining because there are children crying on the table next to you. In Tbilisi, it's celebrated. So do not, by all means, feel intimidated or feel like you're a burden if you've got to go out with your child or you just want to go out for a meal, because I'll tell you, they will make you feel like you are incredibly important.
Do you remember at times when we did have the kids with us, the staff would come and pick up the children and take them and hold them?
That was, but we'd only let that happen at Dine Hall, but yeah.
True, but it was just, they were just so sweet. Like sometimes when we were eating and everything, I think maybe that's just because they knew us so well, but they just loved having the kids.
Absolutely. Yeah. Really important. And of course, there's other places that we ate at that we enjoyed. The Lolita Cafe, which was across the road from Stamber Hotel. The Marriott does some nice food on Rusta Valley, and there's so many great little places as well that I couldn't even tell you what their names are.
No, I mean, we went to a really nice Italian restaurant there, and I'd love to be able to remember where it was. I'm hopeless with names. Georgian restaurants, or, we loved authentic Georgian food every now and then. There was a great dumpling place I cannot remember the name of. You won't remember the name probably. It was on the other side, and remember where we were staying. You won't remember.
No, I don't remember.
Yeah, every now and then we get out for the dumplings and eat those. They were always done well, and even just Georgian cuisine is nice. It's a bit heavy. I can't eat it all.
It is. It's very heavy food, but if you like me and you like meat and potatoes, well, it's the perfect cuisine. The other thing I wanted to talk about as well, one of the other things, actually two other things. One of the two really special things that we did that unfortunately you missed out on doing because you had already left to go home. But we had newborn photos. When I say newborn, they weren't really newborns at this stage. We had newborn photography done by a company called Dino Photography. Pardon?
I think I booked it and I cancelled it for some reason.
Yeah. And we had a fantastic experience with them. It was a half a day shoot in their studios and got some Christmas photos done of the girls, in backdrops and stuff. They were at this stage probably a little bit too old. They always recommend you try and get the newborn photos done within the first couple of weeks. Well, that wasn't possible for us because one of our daughters was in NICU for 5 weeks. So I think we had them around about the 7 or the 8 week mark. Had the photos back to us or the images back to us within a week. Really great to deal with. They were lovely. The place was excellent. They had lots of different rooms. So I'd really recommend getting that done if you have an opportunity to. The other thing that we did, and we actually did this 2 days before we left Tbilisi, which was just a coincidence, was we went to St. George Orthodox Church, which is one of the oldest Orthodox churches in Europe. And if you see a lot of photos of a big church in Tbilisi, likely it's going to be this church. It overlooks the city. It is absolutely beautiful. And we actually were lucky enough to have our girls blessed along with another family by the priest at the church. Now, this was organised by a Georgian friend of our friends, and extremely moving and beautiful little service. And we got to go and touch and pray to the icons inside the the church as well, which spiritually meant a lot to us. So our girls were actually baptized Orthodox, and that is what this church is. And we were able to buy some things to bring home with us, some icons and some rosary beads and some special jewelry and things like that from the church, and have photos taken with the priest and outside the church. So yeah, that was just a really special moment that I don't think we'll ever forget. And yeah, really thankful that we were able to do it.
I think that's wonderful. I didn't do that, but I did go to the church and visit it on our first journey at the egg retrieval. We went on a tour.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah. So we went. We had one of those private tour guides that's sometimes included in the package when you go there for the first time. So we had a gentleman take us around to all different sort of places. I couldn't remember the names of everywhere that we went off the top of my head.
But the first time you were there, if my memory serves me correctly, and we didn't do this, funnily enough, but I know you did, is you went to the sulfur baths.
Yes, I got amazingly sick. I can't say whether it was from the bath, from the procedure that I had while I was in the bath. I
think it would have been all the toxins coming out of your body.
Yeah, so what is it? It's the sulfur. I've been trying to find the bath I went to. It's the one next to the King's Bath with all the nice little tiles on the front of it, the blue one.
Well, that's a good description.
Yeah, someone can Google it or find it. I've put a link somewhere in our community page not long ago. Anyway, it's a sulfur bath, right?
Yeah.
And I was just reading it before. So they do, when you go in there, you can get these private rooms.
Yep.
So Anthony and we booked a private room for the day, and there's a section at the front where it's got a table and a chair. It's got a little bathroom where you can change into your bathers or your robe. Look, I had no idea, but I think people go in there naked.
Okay.
I think.
That's a very European thing, though.
Of course. I had no idea.
Yeah.
So I had my full one piece on. There's no way I was going to get in there naked. I didn't know because it's not a communal thing. So you book and it's private. It's a closed door, and Anthony and I went in, and it's like a little private pool, and he's in there, I'm in there, and you get it in and out every 20 minutes, just like over here we have the Mornington Peninsula and the hot springs. So these are sulfur baths, right? It's very similar. Yep. You would spend 20 minutes in, 20 minutes out. I'm not sure I know the difference. Hot springs, are they sulfur as well?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. Anyway, so you're in, you're out, like you're in a sauna. Same. And you can order some lunch and you can have it delivered. And when that comes, they knock on the door and they politely come in and they drop it and they go. Hot, cold food. It was all good. And then they asked us when we went in if we wanted this traditional scrub done. I don't know what it's called. Forgive me, I'd have to look it up. So what it is the women come in and scrub the women, and then the men come in and scrub the men. And we said, yes, okay, for sure. So let's pay extra and we'll get that done. And we didn't know when they were coming in. They just said they'll come and they'll knock and they'll come in. So this lady, she came in first. Anthony said, well, you go first. And I said, I don't know. If I'm first, I'm first. If you're first, you're first. So this lady, she came in and she knocked, and she had a bucket and this exfoliating scrub. And when she walked in, she told me to lie down on the tiles. Like there's this tiled bench and you have to lie down. And she told me to lie down, and she started yanking down my bathers, yanking them and yanking them. This podcast material, you better tell me.
It's fine.
And she's yanking them, and then she starts scrubbing me like this, like they do when they used to wash clothes on those grated things.
Yeah.
And she was like, honestly, she was grating me. and I was having all these suds come up off my body. It's like I was sudding up all the soap, you know. And I honestly think that what was in that exfoliating towel was just a piece of soap.
It probably was.
Yeah, that's all I think it was. And honestly, she was like, she scrubbed me from head to toe so that I was so clean, I was polished. And that was it. And Anthony was watching and he's like, oh gosh, is there somebody coming in to do this to me next? Because it was a man that was going to be coming in.
Okay.
To do to him. And I said, you're next. And so, because then they rinse you down and everything. It's this.
Did you enjoy it though?
It was. I kind of didn't have time to think because by the time it was over, the look on Anthony's face was like, "Is this what we've all?" And then before she put her hand out, and you have to give them like a tip. They wanted a tip. So I was, because we had already paid, they ask you for, like, they need the tip. So I just quickly ravaged my wallet and then jumped back in the bath, and she disappeared. And the next minute we got a tap, 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 and it all happened again. And Anthony, because he had seen what was happening and everything, he said no, and he was holding on to his pants, holding them up and pulling them up. And he's like, I don't want this, I don't want this. And so anyway, his didn't last quite as much as long as mine because he didn't want any of the service. So that was the story of the it's a cultural scrub.
Yeah. And there's so many sulphur baths in the old town. It's one of the things that Tbilisi is very famous for. We didn't do it. I can't remember why. I think we didn't end up doing it.
Do you think you would have?
Pardon?
Do you think you would have?
Well, look, I'm a sucker for a day spa. I mean, I love spa treatments. I love it, but I can't even remember why we didn't end up going and doing it. I don't know.
Apparently very good for you. It releases the toxins
maybe that's why I didn't do it.
Yes. But that's probably why I was very ill. Like I came out with a temperature and but I hear it's good for you.
We went to a few this has nothing to do with obviously sulphur baths, but we went to quite a few markets on a Saturday and Sunday in the old town. They have like a lot of street markets where they sell, bric-a-brac, antiques, things like that. And my husband brought some old coins and things like that and some old money. And I bought some little figurines and keepsakes for the girls and things like that. And then there's the massive markets and the gold market that's near the station. We went and had a look. We didn't buy any gold or anything. There was nothing there that sort of grabbed us in terms of what they had. And the other markets were very similar to like any other sort of outdoor market that you would see around the world. Everything, from clothing, towels, kitchenware, underwear, hats, pretty much you can pick up anything like that, toiletries, cleaning stuff. I know there's a few friends of ours went outside of Tbilisi for a while. They went up to the snow over the Christmas period because it was snowing when we were there towards the end of our stay, as you know. And they literally went to the snow, which was a couple of hours drive outside of the city. They went and stayed at a ski resort. And then, of course, a lot of people go to Batumi as well. Batumi it's like the beachside part of Georgia, and it's got the casino, it's got big hotels and things like that. We obviously didn't go to Batumi because we weren't going to leave Tbilisi, knowing that the twins could come at any time. But certainly during summer, Batumi is a very, very popular place for not only Georgians, but other people to travel to.
If you did want to go to Batumi, and you were in Georgia expecting, or you have had the baby,
Yeah.
how long would you need to plan for a trip up to Batumi?
Oh,
Is it a
look,
couple of days, a
you
week?
could go the next. You could go the next day. I think it's about 6 hour drive from memory.
Mm.
Um,
And
I'd organise a private driver.
a few days.
I think you can catch the train as well.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's about 6 hours on the yeah, and there's a train. So the train goes twice a day, and it
Right.
takes 5.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's $11 on the train.
Okay. So you need to spend a few days up there. It's just that, because when you've got the little ones, about every week you need to check in with with the doctors for pediatricians and things like that.
I wouldn't be going to Batumi during winter. It's definitely a summer. It's definitely a summer destination, and I wouldn't be traveling that far with a,
with
with a newborn anyway. Not even during summer.
yeah, it's a little. I mean, it's probably something you could think about if you were exiting and your little one's about 3 months old. Maybe if you wanted to go and
Yeah.
spend a couple of days, and it's summertime before you leave and travel home. Most of the time, most couples just want to go straight home.
Did you go on the cable car?
I did. That's isn't it up near like the King George? I think it's King George
In
statue.
Bake. Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And you go along the cable cart and you go to the other side, and there's that big statue, which is this. Look, I'm not sure on the exact names, but there's a big statue, and then you can also go.
I refuse to go on the cable car because I'm petrified of heights.
Well, you won't like the new bridge that they've built.
So we stood outside the entry to the cable car, and that's as close as
Oh, really?
to
I
it.
love the cable cart. I went across it.
Nah, petrified of heights.
It was all part of our day tour. We went to quite a few places, and then we also went to some other, like an old. They took us around. It was actually one of my most favorite days, having that private tour guide, because he spoke about so much history.
What's your favorite? Like your favorite? I don't know, part of Tbilisi. Is there a shop, or is there a park, or is there a destination in Tbilisi that it just takes you there in a second?
I have to say when we stayed on the other side of Rasta Valley, where the park was,
Yep.
the little parks that I used to walk through, and have the pram and everything, and then you could veer off to the old part of Tbilisi. Just that section there, I did like it. Where we stayed opposite, I did love the government house and the apartment and everything, but the surroundings and everything, I preferred the other side of the road.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because there was just a little bit more park life, and the parks were just beautiful.
I think my favorite part is definitely that food truck.
That was lovely too. I love that. Going out at night
Because it was so unexpected, right in the, being in the city, and it was just until you walk through those gates, you would not have realized that was what it was.
Mm. Yeah, I enjoyed when we found those really nice cozy restaurants.
Yeah.
Whether or not we were in company, but there were so many. Just reminded us that we were in Europe. Even though we were in lockdown and we were so far from home, it just made us feel like we were on the other side of the world, and it was a little bit more special.
You know what else was really special is when all the Christmas decorations went up.
Yes, street light.
Yeah, and how beautiful Rasta Valley Avenue looked with all those. So what happened was, do you remember that they had all those lights of different cities around the world? And there was one of the Sydney Opera House, and there was one of they were lined down the street, and they were like these art installations. And I don't know if they do them every year, but it could have just been the year that we were there. But these massive art installations that were lit up at night, but they were of cities of around the world.
I did not notice that.
Didn't you?
No, I just thought they were street lights of Christmas.
No, I've got photos and they were magnificent.
Oh, well,
And there
there.
was Big Ben and there was Statue of Liberty and there was and they were just fantastic. And then you know, because we were still in you know why? Because you probably didn't realize because we were in lockdown.
I know we were in lockdown, but I mean, I still looked at the street lights because I'd seen them twice when we were there the first year.
Uh
Was this your first time for Christmas?
yes.
This was my second in Tbilisi Christmas. So I'd seen them before and I was like, oh, street lights are back up, you know. But I never realized there was a connection between the lights and around the world. And
Yeah, it was
so
this special theme. And then what happened was it must have been on the and you had left. You had literally, I think, left 2 days before. And the government announced that they were going to open the shops for 5 hours and they were going to allow people to be out until I think it was 9 p.m. And so that night, we and our friends, we went walking down the street and the whole of Tbilisi must have been out because everyone was just dying to get out of their houses and the streets were packed and you know people were laughing and playing games in the streets and Rustaveli was just chockers of traffic and people and Christmas and it was the most magical feeling.
Yeah.
It was just it was you know what? Christmas in Europe is magical.
It is. And honestly, I do hope one day to return. I don't know for what purpose, but I do hope to just go back and experience. I don't think like whether I'd be there for another journey or just go through there again.
We have so much appreciation for the city, not only because it's given us our family, but it is just a warm, hospitable, caring city of people that genuinely care about others and they just want to live their lives in peace and in harmony and they are so passionate about their country and we saw that from the protests and from all the political demonstrations and how proud Georgians are of Georgia. And they have every right to be proud because it is a beautiful country full of beautiful people.
This isn't political or anything. One thing I've never got my head around is why, when I used to step out the door and go for a walk down the street, why people looked at me and didn't believe that I was Georgian. Do you remember I used to have this problem?
Yeah.
I used to go shopping for the day, not open my mouth, and they used to just know that I wasn't from Georgia.
Yeah.
And I used to try like not to wear any brand label clothing or something, and I just didn't understand why I stood out as an Australian or an international or something like that. They're just so good at picking it.
Absolutely.
What is it about me? I had dark brown hair at the time as well, so
yeah, I don't know. Pardon?
I still wonder about that.
Well, you never go. Next time you go, maybe they'll think that you're a local because you'll be more I don't know.
Familiar. I
Yeah.
don't think so. They just knew. They're very good at it.
They are. They're very perceptive people. They're very smart. And yeah, like I said, I've just got the warmest of heart for Georgian people and for Georgia as a country. It actually makes me quite emotional and just grateful, really grateful that we had the opportunity to be there and to have these adventures and to we have a piece of artwork in our lounge room that is Tbilisi.
Where did you get that from?
I brought it online.
Oh, yeah, I do like that artwork. That's nice.
Didn't buy it in Georgia, but yeah.
Do you remember when we were there and Annabelle was just born? everybody was buying those little round cushion things. What do you call them? And I got the pink one, and everyone was ordering them straight from the hospital. So
Oh yeah.
when we, what do you call them again? There's a name for them.
Yeah, because I ended up getting one when I came home. They're called
What would you call them?
uh,
It's it's like it's not a pillow, but it's like it's something so that when I would have Annabelle and I was nursing her, I would actually pop that down on the couch or on a bed or something, and it's actually for her to like just to rest in during the day. It was just so helpful.
it's a nest.
Is it a nest?
Yeah.
Yeah, so rather than bringing it from Australia or wherever, there was a lady just on Facebook Marketplace, and I put the order in, and within 24 hours, she dropped it at the hospital. I told her when I picked the one that I want and the colors that I want and the patterns that I want, and she even included some little socks for a baby girl. And as soon as I told her Annabelle's been born, she had it whipped up and she dropped it off to me at the hospital at reception, and they brought it up to the room.
That's
and
so lovely.
I still have it here. Like, I won't part with it. I still have it because it's one of the first things that was ever given to me when Annabelle was born. So do you still have yours?
No.
I packed it in a suitcase. Remember, I got the airbag and
Oh, that's right.
yeah. And remember, we went out to the shops and I needed a change mat. And you took me to, which shops did you take me?
Those ones that are the ones that have got the baby GE store.
Yeah, you took me somewhere.
Yeah.
And we went to Bolt that day, and I needed a few things for the apartment because I didn't have a change mat. And I was just using the bed and a towel. So you're like, for $20, for less than $20, we'll pick up a baby change mat. And I've still got that change mat. Do you believe it? I brought it
do
back.
believe it, but I couldn't. Look, there's a lot of stuff that we kept. There's a lot of stuff though that I have donated since, because when you have twins and you got two of everything, unfortunately you can't keep everything because you just have no room. So
yeah, I understand. But I don't know why I've still got the change mat, because I have a change mat for my daughter's
it
room.
means something. It's it's sentimental.
Yes, it's sentimental. It's on top of the wardrobe, and I just was like, no, I can't let these things go. I need to hold on to them.
Nothing wrong with that. You hold on to something as long as you want to. You can, she can hold on to it for the rest of her life if she wants to.
I'll pass it on to her when she's older and she has children. It's a change mat.
Yeah. Happy 21st. I kept your first change mat.
I don't know what's wrong with me, but these things are just more important for me because I carried them all the way back from Georgia.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I like them and I want them.
No, then there's nothing wrong with that. And on that note, we're going to thank you all for listening and hope that you enjoyed our adventures in Tbilisi. And we will speak to you soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.